Hey, it's Izzy and what's been busy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In today's video, we're going to be transitioning kind of out of homelessness. I'm going to be showing some things of what I'm doing like this week, since I am going to be going to like some appointments and just doing things that I guess I normally wouldn't be doing. But we're gonna first start off with a little something different. We're gonna be doing a mukbang. We're gonna be eating, we're gonna be chit-chatting, because I want to give you all some life updates. I haven't really updated you all on our whole situation. We're also celebrating like 50K and getting my first YouTube paycheck. Oh my goodness, it's so exciting. Like, thank you so much, you all, for this milestone. It's honestly kind of crazy that we already are halfway to 100K. But in order to celebrate these milestones, my family and I, we went to Chipotle and Panda Express. Half of the family members wanted Chipotle and the other half wanted Panda Express. I decided to get Panda Express. Here's what we have. I have some noodles, the classic Panda Express noodles, some grilled teriyaki chicken, and the orange chicken. Did we use Fetch to pay for these meals? Yes. Yes, we did. So while I'm eating this, I'm going to be talking to you all and, like I said, giving you all some housing updates and YouTube updates. Without further ado, let's get into the video. I'm going to be using my chopsticks to eat Chinese food. I mean, why wouldn't I use my chopsticks? The first things first, I'm going to give you all housing updates. I think you all want an update about our housing situation. I know we raised like $30,000, which is a ton of money. Like, don't get me wrong, that is a lot, especially from the time frame. Like, I have to remind myself that we've only been doing this for about a month. It's going to start going into 2 months, but it hasn't been that long, and a lot of money has been donated. But I think the problem, if you want to say, is budgeting and making sure that we are finding a home or finding some type of option that will fit within our budget. $30,000 is still a lot of money, but like, let's be honest, to like guarantee a home most of the time, they're roughly about like $100,000. So realistically, we didn't of course raise $100,000, nor did we put the goal of $100,000, but we figured we could at least like have a transitioning point, so we could maybe buy some land and buy an RV, which is why we set the goal to about $50,000. So if we didn't find any housing options, we'd at least have something permanent. You know, that was like the next option that seemed to make the most sense. I realistically can't expect for everyone to just pay for literally everything, when in reality it just takes time to transition out of homelessness. Like, it's completely fine if we don't have like our dream home and everything. We still have, you know, plenty of life to live to build upon those things. But in terms of like getting out of like the hotel, we think like the RV situation would have been like a better option, right? You guys, we were like this close to securing some land, but let me just say, no, it did not work. It did not work. It got shut down. We had a closing date and everything, and we did not get the land. I would say the reason for that was mainly because they said it was non-restrictive land, but then when we called about the land, like to the zoning people, I know there's very specific people you have to call, we were calling people and they were telling us all the restrictions on the land. So it kind of defeats the whole purpose of buying it, and that like kind of fell through. Also, we were looking for some other options that kind of fell through. So we honestly have been just waiting for like the perfect opportunity to get something that's like within our budget, but also will fit with what we want. Obviously, like, we can't just frivolously buy something just to say we have it. And I know there's kind of like just a wee bit of pressure to like get something, because you all of course are following my journey to see us get out of being homeless. But like, it's also unrealistic to have something within a month, because even when we secured like that closing date, it was going to take like at least a month to even get a closing date before we even moved in it and everything. So that's just kind of where we're at with the housing options. We're not giving up. We're still looking for things, and I just want to let you all know, we really have been keeping all the money. We really have not spent pretty much anything. We used some of the GoFundMe money to pay for the hotel, and even that was heartbreaking, because we don't want to touch it. We look at this money as not like income, or we don't look at this money as just an unlimited credit card. It is money that was donated for a very specific purpose. And you know, at the end of the day, God is watching me, and like, I don't want to get cursed having like other people's money and then using it to buy things that were not listed. I know it says like we may use it for X, Y, and Z, and honestly I just did that so we could like cover everything in case if we happen to use it. But we really want all the money to go towards having stability. We've been through this for so long. It literally makes no sense to just get all that money and to just splurge through it. Like, I can't imagine doing that. I just cannot imagine that. So at this point, it is currently in the bank account collecting interest, which is not a bad thing, but we're hoping soon, like hopefully within the next few weeks and maybe even months, that we can actually secure something and we can have a stable place to live. Okay, now that I've updated you all on like my I've updated you all on our whole housing situation. Don't worry, you all just keep praying for us. We're gonna get that resolved. But on a good note, like, we have a lot of great YouTube updates, okay? Let me just say, I did receive my first YouTube paycheck. I know we're in November, but the way it works with YouTube is like, even though I was posting all of October, I don't get my paycheck till the following month, and it's usually at the end of the month. So I posted all of October, but I actually didn't get that money till like the 21st of November. You only get paid once a month on YouTube, so same thing with November. I've been posting all of November, but I actually have not received November's money because I won't receive that till December. That's just how YouTube works. I know it's not really like the best way, like most people get paid weekly, but you do have to heavily budget because, I mean, that is a long time to wait for your paycheck. But nonetheless, I am so excited that I was able to receive my first YouTube paycheck on this channel. Having the first YouTube paycheck has opened a lot of like opportunities. For example, I will be getting my braces appointment. You all know I have not been to the orthodontist in like 3 years. Like, yes, I have the braces on, but if you watched my braces video, I got that done back in 2021. Yes, 2021, the end of 21. And I did not go to another appointment after that because we became homeless in February of 2022. So once we became homeless, there was no doctor visits whatsoever, and like my wire has popped out so many times, my spring has popped out. We need to get it checked out, and obviously now having some money to be able to get that taken care of is a blessing. Honestly, it's a blessing. I also want to say, I recently joined like a talent agency. I know that's like, do people really talk about this? If you don't know what a talent agency does, like basically the talent agencies help secure brand deals for you. So I do have like a talent manager. I don't know if y'all have noticed, but I am with like small screen marketing. So this talent agency did reach out to me, and like now I'll be able to have brand deals, which is so exciting because I know I was praying about this earlier. I was telling God, like, God, I have no idea what to do in that space. Like, it's a whole thing with negotiation, contracts, and usually it's a different space that most YouTubers don't really know how to do, or they have to like kind of figure it out as they go. And I knew at my platform there's enough subscribers, there's enough views on the channel to secure brand deals, but like I didn't know where to start. I didn't know how to contact the brands, like literally no idea. So I pray about it. I ask the Lord, you know, to give us those opportunities, lead us to people, you know, do something in a way that will be able to help us secure brand deals. And sure enough, a talent agency reaches out to me, and I love this agency. I absolutely love what they do. My manager, he's awesome. He does everything for me, and it's so nice. I really love the camaraderie and him helping me out a little bit, because that was honestly such a mysterious part about YouTube. So just know, brand deals will be coming soon on the channel, which, huge milestone. Huge milestone. So things are actually looking up. So yeah, that's all I have to say regarding the updates. I'm going to finish eating my food. Honestly, I'm so shocked because like I literally didn't really eat that much because I'm like talking. I don't know how people are doing these mukbangs, but I'm gonna finish up my Panda Express and I'll update you all later. Okay, I wanted to give you all an update on my hair. I was like, I'm wondering how much she was gonna actually cut off because I had no idea. But when we were in the shelter, we already cut off like 4 inches. But it was so nice to hear that my hair was actually really healthy. There's nothing wrong with it. It's not heat damaged. There's no water damage. There's like nothing really going on, which is nice to hear because I have done my best, of course, given the circumstances. I tried to take care of it. But if you look at my hair, the middle part is actually the healthiest like bit of my hair, because if the sides were a little bit more damaged, you'll just see like this long strand of hair in the middle, which I was aware of because whenever I'd condition my hair, blow dry it, the middle was always like just this long thick piece of hair sticking down. But we decided that we weren't gonna cut off like the big chunk of hair in the middle, because what I basically would have had to do, I would have had to even everything out, but we didn't really want to do that because there was so much healthy hair right there in the middle. I decided I was just gonna like grow it out, and the hairstylist agreed that we should just let it grow out. So she did a little bit of a trim, but she really didn't have to cut off that much because like I said, we did cut off like 4 inches at the shelter. It was just really good. I really liked my experience. It was nice being able to go to like professional. The hair is nice and silky, as you can see, and I just had a really great time. I will leave all her socials down below because she was just so sweet. I really enjoyed all the conversations we had. It was a great time. But that is the update on my hair. Good afternoon, Busy Bees. Today is going to be kind of a busy day because okay, I'm getting my braces tightened for the first time in so long. It's literally been ages. I am a little nervous because if you watched my first video, the braces pain was unbearable, pretty much unbearable. I was not having it whatsoever. But we're gonna go to TJ Maxx first because it has been getting really cold in Oklahoma, and I have my little sweaters, but no, it's still too cold. Still cold. So I actually need a coat. Gabby and I both need a coat. The triplets have been able to get a coat through the school, which was really, really nice, but we need a coat. So I'm just trying to get sick around here. I don't know why didn't we get a coat earlier? I just kind of forgot about it because the weather was just so nice. It was so pretty, but that's gone. Don't be fooled by the sun. It's cold. It's cold. After we go to TJ Maxx, I have my braces appointment. Then after the braces appointment, I'm gonna film today, hence the earrings. I'm gonna be doing an art vlog, an ultimate art vlog, which I'm so excited to do. I don't know if I'll be able to film in the orthodontist, but if I can't film, I'll let you all know how I'm doing when it comes to the pain. Honestly, I'm gonna be so sad because I can't eat a lot of foods when I have the braces. I'm just gonna be eating soup. Okay, that's okay. It's okay. It's a blessing. And then everything's gonna start shifting and moving around. I'm so excited to have straight teeth. This has been my dream since I have been a kid. It's all gonna work out. I'm gonna get through. I'm gonna take some ibuprofen and maybe take a nap and keep going. This feels like a marshmallow. You do look like a marshmallow. Tum-tums.
Oh goodness, they got a lot of them.
Should we get like a bigger bottle since...
Look at these Chewy Delights. I mean, really? That's what this is?
Chewy Delights for Tums.
I don't see the one that you have, though.
No, I don't.
Okay, well.
You don't want me to throw up, do you?
No.
I have to get Tums.
These? And you can just fill them up in your little
You
bottle.
want Chewy Delights? Chewy Delights.
That sounds like candy now. See, acid indigestion. That's what I'm using it for.
Got the big boy now.
Yeah,
Who
absolutely.
takes pictures with Tom, right? You didn't want that.
This is so creepy. Is she okay? This is weird. Mom thought it was a real person at first. just came back from the store, but I wanted to show you all a haul of everything that we got. So first things first, some yummy Tums. Yum. We bought like this huge container because I have like a travel friendly one, and at first we didn't really know how I was going to react to the Tums, but now since they have been working well, we bought the bigger size. What is all that racket? Now, I bought Tums specifically because you all were asking about like, how do I deal with my periods while being homeless? And let me just tell you, the periods have been its own thing literally since we became homeless. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden when we literally went through this homeless journey, my periods like got 10 times worse. Like, I am so serious, like they're the worst thing I think I've ever experienced in my life. Having some cramps was like pretty normal, but usually I was able to maybe take a pill, maybe drink some tea, and everything would just kind of calm down. But literally about 2 years ago, every time I came on my period, the first day was just me throwing up. I couldn't hold down any water, I couldn't hold down any food, and obviously a pill was like pretty much out of the question. I couldn't hold down anything, and that has somewhat been the case even last month. I was doing the same thing where the first day I was just throwing up all day, and then usually I'm in the bed for like 3 days because of the whole period. So I did go to the GYN. You know, we were talking about maybe some ways we can try to maybe resolve this issue, because I am trying to get back to having a normal life, so to speak, and this period would come and it would literally ruin like everything. Everyone just had to stop and drop. And realistically, now with me like doing more work, I need to fulfill God's plans for my life, and this period, just no. And a main issue we were having was a week before my period, I would have a lot of acid, I guess, going on in my body. I don't know what was happening, but I would burp a lot, I'd start spitting up my food, and once again, more throwing up. I need to be able to take my pill like 3 times a day, but if I cannot take the ibuprofen without throwing up, then it's not gonna work. So the doctor did recommend like this pill that was supposed to help with nausea and vomiting. That pill did not work. That made me more nauseous and made me vomit more. But good old Tum Tums worked out pretty great. I've been taking it twice a day, you know, 1 in the morning for breakfast and 1 at night for dinner. Then I take my pill after I eat my food, and everything's been working out pretty smoothly, which I'm happy about, because the fact that I was like burping, spitting up food a week before the period was honestly just ridiculous. So speaking of food, let me show you all what we got from Sprouts. So obviously you all see me with my braces. I got this periwinkle color. It's so pretty. She actually told me when she was doing my braces that this color is going to be discontinued, which makes me a little sad, but it's so cute for the time being. I really like the lighter color on me. Oh, that was so exciting to be able to get my braces done. Okay, I know I'm going to show you the food, but let me tell you a little bit about my braces. So they told me that I was going to have 4 brackets put in, because I didn't have 4 brackets in my mouth, like in the back. I didn't have any brackets in the back of my mouth, so they had to put 4 new brackets. Then she told me, like, hopefully the next time I come, they can be able to put a bracket on this back tooth, because they basically put a spring right here. You all have seen probably this back tooth while I talk. Yes, they are working on moving that forward, so they're gonna put a bracket on top of that back tooth and bring it forward. But those are the plans, and I am ecstatic to really see like me have a beautiful, pretty smile. Okay, now back to the food. we have to buy new food. We had to get some more food because the food that we had here was not braces friendly. So let me show you. First things up is some organic Amy soup. I have lentils right here. We do eat a lot of organic food. We've always eaten organic food. We've never really been the type of family to eat a lot of artificially flavored type of food. We've always eaten really healthy. I realize as I'm editing this video, I'm talking a lot about eating healthy since we have been homeless, but I also don't want you all to get the wrong impression, because the reality is we have still had our fair share of struggles when it comes to food. When finances kind of get out of order, usually it's always rent or food that kind of goes out the window, because those are things that you constantly have to maintain. And yes, we would have food stamps at times, but even with the food stamps has its own system and ways of doing things. So there were times where we did not have access to food stamps, or we had food stamps, but considering the amount of people, the food stamps was so low that we weren't able to buy luxurious types of food. So I know in this video it may seem like, you know, we have been just eating good, and I will say it has taken a long time to get to this point. Honestly, I'm gonna go into depth about the whole food situation in my book, because it can get so complex very fast, because certain situations we had food stamps, other situations we didn't. Even with us not having a car, that also brought a lot of confusion on how to get food. You can have food stamps, but the accessibility is a huge issue. For example, we had to walk or either buy food online. Now the problem with online, like when we were shopping through Meijer, Whole Foods, some of these markets, they only allow you to place an order if you have money in the account, and you had to at least have $5. And there were times where we literally didn't even have $5 because all the money went to the hotel. So then that was cut off. And then there were other moments where there might have been like a gas station or a pharmacy near us, because majority of the time they do not place supermarkets like in neighborhoods. I remember there was a time where we were living by a Walgreens in the hotel, and we would walk there, and we can only carry a certain amount of food back, but all the food was mainly junk. Like, it's just ramen and frozen foods, and that's what we had to eat in order to survive. Like, it really wasn't about what we wanted or what we could really enjoy. It was about surviving and what we could afford and what we could cook, considering we were living in a hotel. There's not a lot of kitchen appliances. And I just want to say, we were always eating healthy food prior to becoming homeless, but once we became homeless, that's when everything kind of got shaken up. And once again, I don't know what was going on, but there was once again more throwing up, where everyone was actually throwing up the food, the ramen, the frozen foods. No one was really holding them down, especially like my younger siblings. Like Zoe, she was throwing up for a whole year after that whole situation, because we were not used to eating foods like that. Yes, we might have eaten some Cheetos, but we mostly ate like organic food. So I just don't want you all to get the wrong impression and to potentially think like this is the standard, when in reality, when a person is homeless or a person cannot have the proper budget to spend money on food, a lot of it is ramen and eating processed food, even if it's not really the best for you. And yeah, we were maybe getting sick, or maybe we had a stomach ache, but like we didn't have any other options. What else were we going to do? Pretty much everything was closed off, because once again, there really wasn't any money to even spend on food, or there wasn't any money to get to certain places so we can access the food. Honestly, the only reason we were able to make that switch was because we were getting more food stamps, which allowed us to be able to buy more organic food, but it took a lot of time. And even though we currently don't have food stamps anymore, we still feel pretty convicted about the food that we're eating, and we're just more aware and we just know better. So we are still trying to maintain these eating habits, but it has been a struggle getting to this point. None of this has been easy whatsoever. There have been times where we would get into the hotel and then we would have no food. Like, I just really want you all to remember that this journey has been a long one. It's been a long journey. So I don't want you all to think that because you see me now eating like organic lentils and healthy ice cream that I'm somehow like immune to struggling, when that is just not the case. We have struggled with food big time. If anything, that is like the other thing that we have struggled with since being homeless, is like maintaining the food and consistently keeping food, because of the amount of people. It's just so expensive with inflation. But I just wanted to clarify that for those who don't really understand how this all works. And I'll say it's interesting how when we became homeless, we really honed in on eating healthy food, because this body is not my own. This was paid and bought with a price, and this is Holy Spirit's temple. I think it's really important to make sure you are consuming things that Holy Spirit would approve of. And I know for us, even before we became homeless, we were into some organic foods, but then there was other foods that weren't organic. And I know when we became homeless, we just really felt like Holy Spirit was telling us, change everything, like everything. Because like we might have eaten, let's say we might have had an organic cereal, but then let's say the milk wasn't organic. It was like bits and pieces were organic, and a lot of it was just whatever was available at that time. Of course, there has been more accessibility to organic food. Everything is organic, or if it's not organic, it has like, let's say, a couple of ingredients in it. Like it has to be bare bone and really healthy. This one's up. We have the lentils soup. I eat a lot of soup after I get my braces tightened because you can't really eat a whole lot. The chewing is kind of weird on the first days. Next up, we have a snack. We decided to get these like cheese balls. These are new for us. We looked at the back and we're like, okay, it's pretty good. It's organic, but these are supposed to be some light, fluffy, organic corn puffs. We like these because once again, they're really soft, and I actually have tried these just now when we were in the car. I tried them, they're really good. They are really good. Next up, we have like some packets of food. So I have some organic turmeric rice, and I also have garlic brown rice. These two are really good. We've tried this brand in general, Tasty Bite. We usually kind of stay within the same brand, and then if we want to try something new, we'll just usually kind of rotate them and try them out. But we do like this brand, so I have 2 things of rice, but then in this case I'm actually going to mix these with lentils. So I have my red lentil, butternut squash, and coconut. This is organic as well, and so I'm going to take this packet and mix it in with the rice. That is the end of the haul for at least me. We did buy some other things, like we bought some rice for the family. We bought, what else did we buy? We bought some chicken. Oh, I also bought this ice cream, which was really, really good. I had that for dessert. But we bought quite a few things at the store. It has been a bit of an adjustment getting back into buying like our own food. Yes, you heard that correctly. We do not have the food stamps anymore. I think that's pretty apparent when you have been in this situation where you're basically allowing yourself to pay for things instead of the government. Like usually when you have low income, you have like Medicaid, you have food stamps, and even some people have like Section 8. But the problem with that is you're basically dependent on these programs, and what happens is once you make like a smidge bit more money, they take you off. Like we don't even have Medicaid, we don't have EBT, we obviously don't have Section 8, but even if they don't take you off, they decrease the amount. So this has always been the case for us. Like once my mom usually started working, they would take food stamps, and so they would take food stamp over a minimum wage job. Like it still doesn't make any sense, and this is why people are so scared to make money once they have those benefits. Let's be honest, it's really nice to have like those things kind of already budgeted for. Like food stamps, you know it's going to food. Medicaid, you know it's going to your medical bill. But now not having those things, you're having to budget that yourself, and the budget has definitely changed for us. I will say, going back to the topic about, you know, transitioning out of homelessness, I know we are currently still sitting in a hotel, but I feel like the situation has at least improved. We have seen growth, and it has been nice to be able to even spend money on things that we just weren't able to spend money on. The reality is we sacrificed a lot. We had to make constant sacrifices, and even like a couple of weeks ago, because we don't have like the EBT card anymore, we were trying to figure out where food would really fit within our small budget. Because yes, we have, like I said, the $30,000. You are very much aware of how much money has been donated. We still don't like go out and go spend that money. We don't look at that money as income, because the reality is, if we're using it for food, if we're using it for the shelter, if we're using it for insurance, you know, whatever the case may be, it will never end. And when you really think about all the options we have, whether it's going towards a home, towards land, towards an RV, we still have to like budget that properly, and we don't want to just go through it so fast. So I remember we received a comment, like there was a comment saying, wow, they're loaded, why are people helping? They're loaded, they have plenty of money. And it's like, wow, that was the same day where we literally had nothing to eat, because we still make a lot of sacrifices in other areas of our lives, because we recognize that money is still very precious, and specifically having other people's money, that money is precious to us. That's the reality. That was someone else's money. Money is work. Like, they worked for that money. And I know that there's people who even donated that they didn't even really have the money to donate, but they gave it to us anyway. And we just never want to ruin that for ourselves. Like, it's just self-sabotage. So yes, we have still made sacrifices. We have definitely gone without. And so when they made that comment, it was very interesting, because it's like, you guys have necessarily no idea on all the sacrifices we still make to this day. And that's just how it goes. Even without being homeless, you're always making sacrifices to put your money towards other things. So we were like, okay, I know we're not eating anything right now. I know we don't have a lot of food, but at least we are saving up towards something that's going to be grander and bigger and more long term. I feel like the food has gotten a little bit better. We have found ways to just kind of get our food. We have used Fetch a lot to try to get food, but we really try to budget things a certain way, because these are just things that are always going to be here. Food, housing, just bills, they're never going to go away. And specifically being a big family, that's what makes things kind of 10 times harder. Like, we went from, like, let's say $1,500 from the EBT to now, let's say, spending only $80. Like, the budget is so small now, and that's not really a lot for a big family, but we find a way to make it work. God gives us wisdom in every aspect of our lives, and we just make sure to be good stewards of what we have, and we ask him to stretch it out. And we know that even if it's not a lot in terms of like the number we see on the screen, God can make do with your little, and he can multiply it. Like, that's what I think about when Jesus took, let's say, the 5 loaves and the 2 fish, and yet thousands of people were able to eat from it, because they didn't even mention like all the other people, like children. They just mentioned the men. Thousands of men were able to eat from the little bit that they had. And that's how I look at the situation. God can take your little and multiply it. But yeah, I would say we are doing well. We are improving every day. Of course, we are not in a home yet, but I will say the situation has gotten so much better. And I think initially when I started the Homeless series, I was anticipating on filming myself sleeping in a car, filming myself outside, because I didn't know how this was gonna go. You know, I wasn't anticipating on like becoming rich off of necessarily sharing my homeless story. I just wanted to share it to inspire others and to show how you can still have a lot of resilience even through your situation when you have Jesus Christ in your life, and when you are able to walk in his promises and know that he is good, that you don't need a home, you don't need all these material things to thrive. And honestly, that was my goal when I made this series. That's what I felt like from the Lord. He told me to start filming it because we have already been through it for about 3 years, and everything's just really taken off. It's really been a blessing. Even earlier when I said I am with a talent agency, like everything has happened so fast. But now that we are filming things, there's been a lot of assistance, and now I'm grateful that we have been able to have that assistance, because truth be told, if we didn't, you all would be seeing me sleep in a car, you all would be seeing me sleep outside. And so your support means so much. I don't even know if words can explain how thankful we are, and just seeing everyone come together to help us. It's just always a beautiful thing when you get to see, you know, the church come together. So thank you all so much for watching this video. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in my next video. Bye.